Welcome to part 2 of the fire agate tumble video. This is where we start on the different grits after the first grind, which is done with a coarse grit. And we're going to take it all the way to the end here and show you the final product. And this is pretty cool. I really enjoy this. It's a lot of fun for me, and I hope you have as much fun with it as we did. And welcome to Nugget Shooter Journals. And we're polishing fire agates today. Alrighty, here we go. We're gonna give up on the coarse grind, I think, today. And we're gonna dump this out, and whatever we got, we're gonna put into the next step. It's so far taken pretty near 4 weeks just for this first grind. Yeah, you can hear the chickens in the background. And here we go. We're just going to dump this right in here, pellets and all, and see where we end up. And I do this outside because this slurry will destroy your plumbing by setting up in the nooks and crannies until it actually plugs up your pipes. Okay, I try to rinse as much of this out as possible. Sorry about that rooster, he's a pain in the butt. Let's see what we got here. A little more. Look at that. Some really neat looking stuff. And I'm going to run this in soap and some plastic pellets for a little bit. Try to get this. You can see in there, there's little bits of the grit in there. We don't want that in there. Look at that. These are some neat looking stones. And this one has some fire in it. You can see it sparkle showing up right in there. See it? Real pretty stuff. Yes, sirree. Look at that one. That one's got fire in it. Nice. I don't even know where that rock came from. Huh. Or how it got in there. And we'll leave it. A little bit of fire down deep in that one. Look at that. Some nice looking stuff, my friends. Real pretty. Look at here. Oh, did I drop one? Nope. So, we're going to put this into the next step after I clean it real well. Yeah, a little bit of fire down in there and a bubble of some sort inside the agate. Very neat. So, that's the first step. And there are some beautiful stones in here. You remember how rough these were when I started? Ooh. Some of these are going to be pretty spectacular, I think. That's neat. This one here I thought would have more fire in it, but it's got some right there. You can see it's shining in the sun right there. Fire agate's some pretty cool stuff. This one just turned out to be some sort of chalcedony. Like I said, this is our rough. There's fire in that one. See it? See the fire in there? Wow. This is our rough stuff. We kept the better stuff. We're just kind of experimenting here with a little bit of tumbling action. Ended up with some real pretty stuff. I don't know why that rooster's so noisy. But at least, oh, look at this one. Oh, there's some nice stuff in here, my friends. There's some fire in that one and that one. All right. Well, that's it for the rough tumble. We're going to put in some ivory soap. Ooh, look at the fire in that one. That's got some nice fire in it. See it there? We're going to put some ivory soap in here with some plastic beads again. And we're going to let it get all the rest of this grit out of here. Look at that neat little thing. Ooh, pretty, pretty stuff. All right. That's the rough tumble. Off we go to the next step. Alrighty, here we go. We're going to open her up. And this is just soap, ivory soap, and some beads. You can see it's kind of a gray color. That means it cleaned the grit off from the coarse grit. So we're going to pour the whole show right into here and rinse them off real good. And this should have helped take out all the extra coarse grit that was in there, and we really don't want the coarse grit getting mixed into here because the coarse grit will scratch the rocks as we're trying to do them in the next step, and we really don't want them getting scratched up. Okay, now we're going to clean this out really well. I don't want any kind of grit in there. Okay. Now looky here. We got some pretty nice rocks. They've smoothed off real nice compared to what they were. And we're going to put them into the second step, which will smooth them. Get myself all wet. Some of these are pretty darn cool. They look really neat when they're polished. They'll look similar as they do right now wet once they're polished. So now we're going to go into the second step. I'm going to put all these, rinse them as we go, and put them in the barrel. Boy, there's some real nice stuff in here. Yeah, I'm not going to put the plastic pellets that we use for this grind in with the next batch because there might be some contaminants on there too. Caught in the plastic or something. I'll look, but I don't think I will reuse it. Really nice stuff. Yeah, you can still see there's some grit mixed in there. You can see the dirt. The water's dirty with it. And once again, I don't ever wash this stuff down the drain. There's no grit in this, what I'm doing right now, so I'm not worried about it. But boy, if you wash this stuff down the drain, it'll ruin your drains. Look at this thing. That's pretty cool. And we got another batch of stuff we're going to tumble here too. It's not fire agate, but we'll share that with you guys as well. There. There's a neat looking piece. Okay. I'm going to go get some new plastic beads, and we're going to recharge this with new grit and get it going. Alrighty, here we go. We're going to put in 3 good-sized tablespoons of medium grit now. Alright, this is a lot finer than the coarse. And this will be our second step. We've got the plastic pellets in there for filler, and it helps fill in the extra space created by the rocks grinding up. Okay, there's 3 good scoops to get this started, and we'll give it a pinch to grow an inch too. Okay, and I've already added water to just about the bottom of the material, or to the, I guess to the top. You say to the bottom of the top layer of stone. Okay, and that's where I got my water set. And we're going to put the top on, turn this thing back on, and I'll show it to you in a few days. Alrighty, here we go with the ending of the second grind. And we're going to clean this out. And as I always tell you, don't put this stuff down the drain. Ever. Okay. Wash everything off real good so the next step doesn't get polluted by this step. Okay, here we go. Let's see what we got. Now the next step is going to be part 3, which is a fine grind. And I'll clean everything up quite a bit better. This is interesting. For some reason, the plastic pellets have turned black. Interesting. Huh. Okay. Let's see what some of these rocks look like. Come on. They're going to look kind of pretty when they're done. I got to wash them. They're going to get washed. Look, there's some fire down in this one for sure. Real pretty stuff. And they're going to get washed in ivory soap again, and then into the fine grind. I want to get all these little pockets where you see grinding stuff in there cleaned out. Oh, it's going to be some interesting stuff. Off to the next step. Okay, I was cleaning up these fire agates for the fine grind, which is the final actually grind before I go into the polish. And geez, I just got to show you some of these stones. They're nice. Check this out. I'm getting all the plastic pellets out right now because you don't want pellets polluting the fine grind with some of the, might be a little bit of coarse material or something on there. But look at some of these stones. Just beautiful. Some of them actually, look at, there's a pellet caught right in there. Get that out of there. Okay, it's out. Now I got to check all these stones, but these are going to be some really beautiful pieces. There's actually some fire down in that one. Look at that. What else we got? Yeah, some real odd and beautiful stuff. Just amazing looking stuff. This is the rough stuff. This isn't the real good stuff that we found. But boy, is it coming out with some really cool stones in the tumbler. Look at that. Some of this stuff's amazing. Like I said about tumbling, this is really cool to do with kids too. They love it. Look at down in there. You can see the fire down in there. When these polish up, they're going to look a lot like they do right now, wet. And it'll just be nice and glossy. There's some fire down in that one. Yep, there's some pretty nice stuff right here. When this is done, this is going to be real pretty. And some of it's not so spectacular, but it's still interesting. I'm telling you, man, it's a cheap way to really have fun with kids as well, or just have fun as a not kid. Look at that, playing Mother Nature, grinding this stuff up and listening to the rooster crow. All right, I'm going to put it all in the fine grit in the tumbler, and we're going to start it up again. It'll be out of there in about 7 days. Finally, done with the fine grind on the fire agates. Okay, these should be nice and smooth and ready for polish. Let's see what we got. Okay, we're going to dump her out and rinse out the barrel and rinse off those rocks. And like I always say, don't ever put this stuff down your drain, because you'll be bummed out when you got to call the plumber. Ooh-wee, nice and smooth. Look at some of this stuff. We're going to put this in polish now with some brand new plastic pellets and polish them up. We put these in jars and stuff like that and let kids take some if they want them and give them away and stuff like that. A lot of fun. So I'm going to get these cleaned up and back in there in the polish. Alrighty, we're going to take this and we're going to put rocks right up to the bottom. I mean, rocks. Water up to the bottom layer of rock. Yeah, about that much. All right there. Okay, and we're going to take some polish. And we're going to do, about 3 tablespoons, give or take. It's not rocket science on the exact amount on this. Okay, that ought to be just enough. And we'll put in about that much. And that'll help cushion them. Maybe another little handful. As they roll around in there, help that polish get into the tighter spots. Yeah, a little more. You don't want them banging around too much. Okay, that's it. We're going to put the top back on this thing, and next time you see them, they're going to be done, except for burnishing with the little bit of soap. Okay, the fire agate grind is done. We're going to open this up and rinse it off like we always do, and put the rocks in here. And these have gone through the polish now. This is a done deal. We might have to burnish these a little and clean them up with some soap. Get the film the polish leaves on off of them. So let's see what we got here. And you can see some of the crap down in the crevices here. But these are going to stay shiny now when they dry off. Look at that. That one's got fire in it. All right, see the fire down in there? That's why it's called fire agate. And these are some pretty nice looking stones, man. Look at that. That's the done deal. You can see the fire sparkling down in there. Isn't that something? Okay. We're going to rinse these off real well here. And we're going to wash them. Like I said, we'll put them in with some soap and water. And these are done. Alrighty, we got a little bit of a wind, but here's the final look at the polished fire agate. Look at that. That's all that rough stone that we put in there together when we started this, and now they're all nice shiny ones. That one's got a plastic pellet stuck in a hole. Yeah, dig it out of there for a bit. Huh. Okay, but check it out. Some of them even have a little bit of fire. That one has a touch. See if I can find one that's got some pretty good fire in it. I saw a couple earlier. Boy, those are some pretty rocks though. Let's see, there's some. That one's got some fire in it. See it right there? You can see the different colors shining right there by my thumb. Let's see what else we got here. That one's got some fire in it. You can see it sparkling down deep in there. And these are just rough stones. I mean, we just went and picked up a bunch of rough stone and tumbled it. And some of these have some fire in them. That's kind of cool. That is kind of cool. I saw a couple that had a little better fire, and now I can't find them now. But they're really not gem quality, but they sure are pretty. And when you give them to people, they sure like them. They're pretty special. You get the ones there's a little bit of fire deep down in them. You hold them just right in the sunlight, and they show up pretty darn good. This one's got some. You can see it. See it right there? Look at that. Is that fire in there? Pretty stuff. But there you have it. The fire agate tumble. If you like these videos and enjoy learning about some of the other stuff we do other than just tromp around out in the desert and collect stuff, and kind of like seeing what we do after we collect the stuff, like, subscribe, ring that bell, and for now, there's another piece of little fire in it. It's Nugget Shooter out.